Hi, it's time for another RuPaul's All Stars 3 review. This is Nick's Nerd Network, and I'm Nick.
And I'm drunk.
And I'm not.
Oh, God. Alright, so I'm back with Jay and Elias. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
So let's first talk about the episode and what happened, how they're reacting to the elimination. So, Morgan McMichaels was eliminated. BenDeLaCreme, she chose her. She said outright, I'm choosing you because you are going to send people home that don't deserve to go home. Was this the right thing for BenDeLa to do?
I think it was. I mean, I would have did the same thing.
Well, I mean, and BenDeLa said specifically, and I'm doing this in the interest of the whole group, I'm going to send Morgan McMichaels home because of the way that she had, plastered how she was going to play the game by sending home the strongest girls. So I mean, BenDeLaCreme made the right decision.
No, I agree. I think that it was the right decision. I do think, though, that it will come back to bite her in the butt at some point. Because she's right. She said it in the episode. She's setting the tone for how this is going to go by this first elimination. And she did. She eliminated someone not because of how they did, but because of fear. But I don't blame her for doing that because she's really doing the rest of the queens a favor. But I'm worried about how the other queens are going to take it. I mean, based on the comments that the other queens make, do you think that they kind of hold that against BenDeLa?
I think the only person that really had an issue with the whole, the way it was played out was Aja, because Aja did choose Chi-Chi. Aja was friends with Morgan, and she was very vocal about that. And Aja did also mention that she based her decision off of the judges' critiques, which, that's fair. But I think that the rest of the queens kind of, it's really hard to tell and hard to gauge how they perceive the whole, I can't even talk about it. I can't feel my face. How she felt with, how she dealt with the whole situation and her decision to eliminate Morgan McMichaels. So
Morgan McMichaels.
I'm drunk, guys. So just bear with me, okay?
We've heard. No, I agree. I think Shangela made a little bit of a shady comment too, just saying that when BenDeLa, which I don't disagree, but BenDeLa was putting on the tears a little bit, where it's oh, this isn't really winning. I love BenDeLa. I'm 100% biased,
Yeah.
but that did seem a little bit of a stretch for me. And though Shangela did call it out, she is also a bit of a pot stirrer, I would say.
Yeah, Shangela is, but I think BenDeLa was also playing a little bit of it.
She's playing the game, and
Yeah.
she needs to because I want her to win.
They all have to play it. It's the name of the game.
Yeah, you want to win, so.
So I also want to talk about Chi-Chi's comment about who she thought should have been at the bottom. So let's talk about that without talking about later things in the episode.
She didn't say who she thought should have been at the bottom. She said who was the least talented.
I think that's a roundabout way of saying the same thing, though.
Right.
Yeah.
But, if we're quoting the show, we have to say what they said. So, yes. Carry on.
So Chi-Chi made a comment along the lines of, the more she thought about it, she thought somebody else wasn't as talented as the rest and potentially should have been in the bottom. And then when Thorgy said who, she said Milk. Milk, being the compassionate, nice person that she was, took this very well, right?
No.
And I love Trixie's side comment about how Milk's talent can't be Velcro.
That was pretty funny.
That was funny.
I did like I said last episode, I liked Milk's concept, but it could have been executed better.
Yes, I agree.
Alright, so let's talk about the two challenges, one of which was the Diva tribute. What did you guys think about the Diva tribute challenge?
It was a good challenge. It was very similar to last season, or last All-Star season, History of the World. I think that this particular season was a lot more challenging because they were held to a higher standards, because all the divas that they did, have to imitate were from a more modern time. So, I mean, it was a lot more entertaining in my opinion.
Yeah.
Good.
I liked it a lot. It was fun. I mean, some were better than others, but I think it was entertaining.
And I would say, too, to stand up for the queens of this season, because I know that they came in pretty harsh with some of the critiques, is that in All-Stars 2, Katya got the harshest critiques, and part of it was because, and RuPaul stuck up for her, is like, Princess Diane is the only character that we actually knew what she looked like, we knew what she acted like, we have videos of her to know her mannerisms. The rest of them are all legends that were open to interpretation.
Yeah.
So with these characters, none of them were open to interpretation. We know who they all are and what they look like, so the judges went ham. So it's understandable, and it was more challenging. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about the Fashion Fails Challenge. I really personally like this challenge a lot.
The redemption, yeah, I agree with that. I did feel like all of the queens did a great job in redeeming themselves. I mean, their runways compared to the original challenge or the original runways that they did back in their season, a lot more polished, a lot more entertaining. They did a good job, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think that all of them did get redemption on what they did.
Yeah, and it's good.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's really good to see that throwback and see, like you said, that they've improved so much. So I love this challenge a lot. So we're gonna go through each of the queens individually, and we're going to talk about both challenges. I'm going to kind of give out my personal score out of 5 of how I thought each was executed, and then we can kind of discuss whether you guys agree or disagree on those. So we'll start with Milk. I would say for the Diva challenge, I gave her about a 3 out of 5 for her impersonation of Celine.
The only thing that she did, and I did actually kind of look at a recent photo of Celine Dion. She actually did have that weird, like, leotard and, like, dress combination, like, with, like, the, you know, the flesh color and then, like, the black and top part and the black bottom part. I mean, she did have the outfit right, but her mannerisms, the look, her face, her makeup, and the wig that she had chose, it wasn't as accurate as it could have been. But I mean, yeah, I would say a 3, 4 out of 5. I mean, she did a good job.
I mean, but I feel if you're gonna impersonate Celine Dion, you want to do a look that's gonna resemble. Not everybody's gonna know what she wore at that time.
And I agree. You have to find that iconic version of that character.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, some of the actors and actresses, they're not all who they were back then. But you're not going to be like, I don't know, so and so in a wheelchair because they're in a nursing home now. You're going to be what they were and what they know them for.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm terrible with celebrity names. I couldn't think of anyone. But yeah, you get what I mean. You can't just do present day them.
Yeah.
So yeah, 3, I agree there. In terms of the runway for the redemption challenge, I was kind of torn because in terms of a redemption, I would say about a 3. But in terms of like look alone, if it wasn't for what the challenge was based on, I would give her a 5. I thought it looked really, really good. But I didn't feel like it was at all relatable or a throwback to what she previously wore. A lot of the queens incorporated some of their previous look into this look.
Well, I mean, Milk really couldn't do that because in the episode that she was eliminated in, she was wearing some weird, like, bottom part was like a skirt, and you can clearly see it was like safety pinned to her on the bottom half. So all season, you know, she was being told from the judges that she wanted, you know, they wanted to see glamour and they wanted to see her in, like, you know, like a very high fashion kind of, you know, look. She couldn't portray that with redeeming herself because, you know, she wasn't able to do that. She had like a big bow on her head and like a pencil, like a safety pin and skirt to her bottom half. But this time she came out there with a very glamorous dress. Her makeup was done very, you know, like chic and pretty. The wig, I mean, I don't know. I can't say much to the wig, but it was a big improvement from what she was giving the judges in her season. I mean, she was giving those quirky, weird looks, you know, during season 6.
And I want to say one more thing too. Like now that you said that, something made more sense to me now. Is she had safety pin earrings on this time, so that was like a throwback to what her downfall was, the safety pin. Yeah. So I now will upgrade it to like a 4.
Oh, look at that!
I give her a 4 on her look.
All right. So did you have anything you would add about the Milk look? Any?
No, I mean, I think she looked glamorous. I give the look a 4.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I'm glad you brought up the safety pin thing. All right, so let's talk about Trinity K. Bonet as Janet Jackson. I gave her performance as Janet Jackson a 2.
Who?
All right, so back with Kennedy Davenport, who is the queen that is up next. So Kennedy Davenport as Janet Jackson, I gave her performance a 2 out of 5 for her performance alone.
I give her a 1.
I was trying to be nice.
Well, if you kind of look at her closely, like she didn't know the words. She wasn't. There was no Janet Jackson isms in her performance. It was Kennedy, pretty much. You know, because Janet Jackson's like like that. You know.
Just like that.
Yes. Not just like that, but you know, like if you see someone do that, you know, oh, that's Janet Jackson. That's what she does in her performances. But no, Kennedy didn't do any of that.
Well, I will film your Snatch Game audition tape for RuPaul's Drag Race.
All right.
What about you?
I mean, I probably a 2. I was kind of disappointed because I know she's a fierce queen and a great performer, and she didn't give it her all like she normally does.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I stand by with my 2 because I didn't think she was terrible. I didn't. I thought that there was flashes of Janet Jackson in there, but it wasn't all the way. She was going in and out of character, and it was mostly Kennedy.
Right.
I mean,
agree.
if they had brought anyone else back from season 7 to fulfill that role, then that would have been a 1. But
I agree.
yeah, I thought she did okay, but everyone else overshadowed her. In terms of her look for the redemption, I also personally give that like a 2 or a 3. I mean,
Yeah, that was really just like out there.
choices.
I mean, seriously, like the first look. I mean, she had 2 looks tonight. The first look that she had was like this like weird looking.
It was the same look without a face.
Right, and then she came back, and then she like pretty much like took a layer off, and she was like beaded head, weird contact lens, you know, rhinestone faced eyes and eyelashes. Like it was bizarre. Like I don't know what she was doing, but I don't know.
Yeah, but if you look back at her season, it was a much better improvement. Way better.
It was, and I get the concept she was going for because she was talking about how was it an animal challenge? I don't remember exactly.
That was the it was
Death
Death Becomes
Becomes
Her.
Oh yeah, so it was like she was supposed to be kind of like the way she explained it is like I'm a phoenix rising from the ashes, but like the pressure like crystallized me into a diamond, and then like
Yes.
and then Ginger Minge kind of read her for that like, girl, you're just making that up, like you don't know what you are. And so I get what she was trying to do. She was trying to like, I'm the phoenix, I'm rising from the ashes. She's like casting aside the old costume, and she's that diamond thing she was describing. But I really feel like with Kennedy, less is more sometimes. Like she always has so much glued on, and she needs to take a little bit. She needs to tone it down just a little bit. I like her a lot. I really, really do, and I think she's so talented. But I think she's just overdoing it so much in the looks, and that's what's hurting her. So yeah, I agree. I stand by my number of like a 2, maybe a 3. It was an improvement from the original. I liked the concept, but it just didn't land. Didn't you agree?
I agree.
I still give her a 1.
You're hateful.
I give her a 3.
I'm being truthful.
From watching from her season, what she did till now, it was a 3.
It was an improvement.
She had like a 1 on her season when she did that.
So let's talk about Aja next as Amy Winehouse. I gave her Amy Winehouse a performance of 4.
She was a 5. She had the hair down, she had her mannerisms down, the movements down. I gave her a 5. She did good.
She had a lot of assistance though from the pit crew.
That wasn't her fault. That was a choreography that Todrick chose for her.
Right, but I'm saying that was a big part of the performance and what she was doing.
Again, Todrick chose that choreography for her.
Yeah, he made a lot of choices for some of
Of course.
But her look was really well for Amy Winehouse. So I give her a 4.5.
Yeah, I mean,
I liked her.
I don't know how to get that close to a 5, but I'll go with you guys.
I'm sure you can be convinced.
I like Aja a lot, and I think she's done she's really surprised me how good she's been doing this season. It wasn't one of my favorites, but I did think she did a good job. I do. In terms of her look for her redemption, I give her a 5 on that.
Yes.
Princess Disaster was so
Yes.
bad. I mean, the bar was set low.
It was epically bad in season 9, but the way that she upgraded it, she put it from a 4-piece like chap outfit to this pretty ruffled gown and just her makeup and hair. I mean, she completely did like a 360 on that look. Amazing,
everything about
amazing.
her, like that look was amazing. Like I was like, oh wow.
It reminded me a lot of, I don't know if you guys know this show, it's a cartoon called Adventure Time. It was Adventure Time Realness. I'll put a picture up. But it reminds me of a character from that, the Fire Princess, that kind of thing. In terms of, so we covered her, yeah, we agree 5 on that.
Yes.
Yeah, her look, yeah.
Great improvement. She's
Yeah.
come so far. So Chi-Chi DeVayne as Patti LaBelle.
She did good. I mean,
I gave her a 4 on that.
even the judges knew exactly who she was based on the way she was dancing and moving and her, shaking her hand and.
Yeah, she definitely did a lot of what Patti LaBelle does. So.
Yeah, I thought that was on point. She was like very comfortable in that role, and it seemed to show really well.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of her look, I gave her a 3. It was better, but not as good as some of the other queens. It was not as much of an improvement as some of the other queens had made in their looks.
Yeah, I'd give her
about
a 3.5.
But if
it was way better.
But if you look at what she did in season 3, season 8, it was a leotard and a belt and like these cheap, like pleather boots. I mean, she came out there. Her waist was cinched. She had breasts. I would give her a 4 or a 5. I mean, compared to what her look was in season 8, compared to what it was tonight, it was much better.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was season 7, she would have won with a cinched waist.
Yeah, that's true. But again, it was a lot more polished and a lot more. It was executed a lot better compared to what she did in her season on that challenge. So
I'm saying standalone, not comparing it to her previous. I thought it was not as competitive as some of the other looks, but I do think it was a big improvement.
Well, for Chi-Chi DeVayne, for her, it was a big step in the step up.
It was.
So I would give her a good rating.
Right. So let's move on. Trixie as Dolly Parton. I was really happy with
That
this.
was so funny. She had like a little, like, oh, I love you, Roo. I mean, her little country, like she added her own stick to it with her holding the guitar, doing her little, her footwork. She was amazing. Trixie did very well.
I gave her a 5 on that.
I would give her a 5 too.
I thought she was.
I'd give her a 5.
I would agree.
I always love watching Trixie.
She just seemed very sincere in all of her Dollyisms.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought she was really strong. In terms of her redemption dress, I gave her a 3, maybe a 4. It's hard because the challenge was an ugly dress that also still looks good. So
Right.
it's hard because it's not in good taste.
But it was the challenge. The funny thing is the dress that she wore in this episode was a lot prettier than the dress that she wore in season 7. So
Yeah.
I kind of felt like she regressed from the whole ugly dress challenge, but I mean, her concept was there. It just wasn't what she thought it was.
That dress was not pretty.
It wasn't pretty.
meant to be, though.
It wasn't pretty, but it wasn't as ugly as her dress in season 7.
But it was
It's
uglier.
tacky pretty.
It was uglier because her dress on season 7 looked like a 80s prom dress. This dress was uglier.
Well, I think it was an improvement.
Okay.
But it
She
was
hit
an
the
improvement,
challenge. It was
yes.
an ugly dress.
The challenge, she hit
met the challenge.
Yes.
So let's talk about Shangela. Now, before we get started, I want to say... Actually, no, let's talk about the challenge first. So, I gave her a 5 as Mariah.
Yes.
She was amazing. I would give her a 10 out of 5.
It was hilarious just watching her do that, and...
I mean, yeah, people said that, oh yeah, she had the easiest, challenge because it was a recent event that had happened, whatever. But she had the mannerisms there. She imitated Mariah to a T.
Mm-hmm.
Even her little her mouth movements when she did that high pitched little song towards the end of her part on that episode, it was hilarious, and she did it perfectly. She did.
She
killed it.
She did kill it.
My only critique of Mariah, and this is not a reflection on Shangela at all, because she owned it. She did great. My critique is on the setup of that part, is because all of these were kind of iconic characterizations of those characters, and I feel like for hers they relied too much on that. Like when you think of Mariah going down in history, you're not going to just think of that New Year's clip, and I felt like they relied very heavily on that. That is not a reflection on Sangela. She did amazing with what she had to work with.
Okay, with that said, what going forward and down in the future, how you remember Mariah?
I think a little bit more of what Shangela did at the end. I mean, I think it was smart of them to use that comedic point, but they kind of handed Shangela a comedic point where some of the other queens had to find that comedy on their own.
That's true.
But because Shangela added her characterization and her comedy to that role. I mean,
This isn't a critique of Shangela.
Oh, I know. But with that said, she was given a part, and yeah, it might have been easier in some people's eyes, but the way that she, executed it, she slayed it. I mean,
she did. I thought she did amazing.
And I think they added that comedic part of Mariah Carey's to make it fun, because they had to add like comedy in the routine too.
Let me add this. RuPaul assigned all these girls the divas that they were given for a reason.
Right.
Ru knew how each queen would probably perform these roles. I mean, she wasn't stupid when she gave Shangela that Mariah Carey. She knew what she was capable of.
No, I love that.
I mean, there's a method to her madness. RuPaul knows what she's doing when she gives people roles.
So, no, I agree. My critique was that I felt like a little bit more was handed to Shangela, but regardless, she knocked it out of the park. And I am glad though that they gave her that, because if she had tried to embody that on her own throughout the lip sync, then they would have read her for like not knowing the word. This isn't about Shangela. But let's move on to the next queen, because it's going to take forever.
Yeah, Jay.
So, let's talk about Thorgy and the Stevie Nicks conspiracy.
No.
So, in terms of her performance, I would give her a 3 on her performance.
I don't know what to give her, because to be honest with you, when I watched that performance, I mean, I don't know Stevie Nicks super well. I mean, yeah, she is said to be a gay icon, but looking at Thorgy Thor from being from a recent season, when I watched the episode, it did look like Thorgy in her own makeup and a blonde wig and doing whatever she was trying to do. I didn't see anything. I didn't see any person or characterization besides Thorgy. I don't know what she was doing.
I thought body movement wise, like hands, like shoulders, from the shoulders down, I thought that was very Stevie Nicks.
Well, yeah, she had
it was
over
animated, but it was very Stevie Nicks.
I agree.
I think that I agree. She did not paint her face in the right way, and her mouth was a little more detox and a little less Stevie Nicks.
But the thing is, she got in her own head, and if she didn't get in her own head and overthink it, she probably would have done really well.
And that's what really makes me sad for Thorgy, is because I really thought like this is she seemed like she learned her lesson from the previous season, and she was going to come back and be different, but she fell into the same trap. Oh. It's really sad.
It is.
I think Thorgy is a good performer. She's a good entertainer. She's a good person, but I kind of feel like she dwells on the past a lot. And she kept saying over and over again how during her season, she didn't win the crown. She didn't win any challenges because it was the Bob show. Like, I understand it's a competition, but if you really think that you're better and you're up there with these queens, don't sit there and dwell on the fact that somebody else outshined you on certain challenges. Like, own it. Like, if you feel like someone's outshining you, then step your game up.
And I don't remember which queen said this, so I don't want people to think it's silly, but don't be bitter, be better.
Yes.
I think whichever queen said it,
someone said that, yeah.
So let's then talk about her dress, her redemption. I thought it was really good. I liked it a lot. It wasn't my favorite of the night. I gave her a 4, but I thought it was creative.
It was creative. I like the little...
The anvil.
The thing on the head.
It was an anvil, whatever you call those things that you just jump on
It
people.
made me think of like Tron, like
Yes.
zipping lights kind of thing. Like
Yes.
she was the Tron little green light.
Yeah, I mean, I do like that she kept the same neon yellow greenish color that she did back from season 8. She didn't have that weird like makeup, like
The beard.
She drew on the beard and sideburns, and she did, like even the outfit, the dress was better. So I mean, yeah, she did get kudos for that, but her execution of her drag on this episode, I don't like the headpiece. Yeah, it was cool, but I don't know. I'm just really drunk.
It was a lot to look at. You need a little Ritalin. But
Yes.
I thought that it was a good concept. It was a well-realized concept, and it stayed consistent throughout. Was it the best? No. But was it, like, it was well-realized.
It wasn't received well by the judges.
It was
though.
fun. It was fun.
It was fun. I liked it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about BenDeLaCreme as Julia
Oh,
Andrews.
she killed it.
She slayed it. It was
She did.
awesome.
And she really probably had the biggest challenge, and they said that she had the biggest challenge because she had to convey a lot of different things
Yeah.
that was Julie Andrews, but wasn't Julie Andrews, and it was very, very difficult for her. And she had really complicated choreography, which I thought Todrick was a little hard on her in the beginning. She was doing better than some of the other queens at picking it up, but she also had a lot more to live up to.
But I think that was Todrick's way of pushing her to the next level.
True.
That I
And-
think he did that for a reason. I think he knew that if he had done that, he probably would have helped her excel, and obviously it paid out.
It did pay out. She did amazing. She picked up the choreography.
And the words, the lip
the
sync.
words, the lip sync. She did amazing.
Right.
It was fun to watch her.
I would say her and Trixie were my top 2 favorites.
Mm-hmm.
And now for her dress, for her dripping with diamonds or dripping with jewels, I believe it was, I was like floored. It was amazing. I know a lot of people, she had a lot of hate for her season for her dress. That's the one she went home in. I did not think it was the worst dress up there. Darian Lake had a worse version of that. But it wasn't polished enough. This, I was so happy. I mean, she was like drenched in jewels.
I mean, I don't feel like it was a major change from what she had done. I mean, it was just. And I think the reason why, because visually, it was the same color, the same. What was her rubies?
It was rose quartz.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it was
going to be the same color.
It was the
then.
same color. I mean, I'm a visual person. Obviously I do things. I'm artistic, but just seeing how she portrayed it. I mean, yeah, it was a lot better than what she had done back in season 6, but it wasn't, to me personally. I don't feel like it was that big of a huge difference from what she had done. I mean,
It was a huge difference because that hairpiece. Every time I watch that episode, I hate that hairpiece that she put in her head. I'm like, take it off. I always wanted to say that. Take it off.
what did you call it? Bacon?
It kind of looks like a bacon strip.
They did
In a
tell her
weird
earlier
way.
in that season not to wear bacon.
Don't wear bacon.
It got her sent home too. Another queen falls victim to bacon. So I will say what I liked about the dress and what I think was flawed in her previous dress is there wasn't a lot of movement to get reflection off the jewels. Where with this one, there's a lot of movement, so it gave that like sparkly rain of reflection.
Yeah, it was dripping with jewels. What the
Yes.
challenge was.
Which I think that's what Adora got right in that challenge. She had a lot of moving parts to hers.
Yes.
So I'm fully behind Biddle. I thought this was amazing. I gave her look a 5 on this one.
I give it a 5.
I agree.
I agree because I said it.
Agree with yourself, Nick. I just agree with yourself.
All right. So, well, if I don't, who will? All right. So let's talk about BB. I think that she did good as Diana Ross. I don't think she was the best. I gave her a 4 on that. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I would say 4 or 5. I mean, she was handed a pretty basic, easy gay icon, but I mean, she did add her own element to it.
Mm-hmm.
She even got the hair bouncing when she was moving around, like Diana Ross did. She had the lip movements going. She did a pretty good job. I mean, yeah, she was given a very easy diva role to do, but she did it pretty well. So I would give her a 4.5.
Yeah, I give her about a 4.5, 5. She did an amazing Diana Ross because people always try to There's been a few, I think, who've tried to imitate her on the Snatch Games, and they did awful and never lived up to Diana Ross.
It was Milan in season 4.
Yes.
With the
Nothing
wonky
like
eyes.
Diana Ross, and
Yeah.
she did amazing. She didn't have a lot of lyrics or anything, but her look and her mannerisms were Diana Ross.
Now, this is the only part of the Thorgy conspiracy that I will agree with. I feel for her and her frustration with this, because I know she compares herself to other queens a lot, but I feel for her in the critiques where it was like, oh, Weeby, you didn't have to do anything, you just were her, and like they were really hard on Thorgy. So I felt for her in this instance. I don't agree that she was sabotaged, but I did feel for her in this moment of like, this person, it feels like this person got a pass.
No, because I feel like Thorgy has too many excuses and too many.
I agree on every other part of this challenge.
Right, but even Todrick during the whole like rehearsals and giving them choreography, he even said to Thorgy, "So what do you want to do? How do you want to put your own element into this? How do you see Stevie Nicks?" And Thorgy's like, "Oh, I don't see her as a gay icon and blah blah blah." But every single queen put their own dramatization and element into their character, and Thorgy just was like too literal. Like like relax, have fun with it.
Like
don't think so much. It was he's get out of your head, and don't be afraid to just go out there and go for it. Like you have to be, like think outside the box. Like put your own element into it. Don't be afraid to do something different. Take a risk. Have fun. Like don't be so literal. Like girl, calm down.
Yeah. All right, so and let's talk about the redemption dress for BB, not for Thorgy. We're done on Thorgy.
Oh God, that I don't even remember her original, so I don't even know what to say about that.
I saw the picture, and I think I liked what she had. I'd say what she had is a 5 on its own.
But what was her original picture?
Her original was kind of like a secretarial thing. I'll put it up, but it was like a secretary type look, and it was pretty basic. My critique for her is the same critique that I had for Milk, and I didn't see a lot of the previous costume in the new costume. It didn't feel like an evolution or upgrade. It just felt like an entirely different choice. But on its own, I thought it was a great look.
Yeah, it was. I mean, tonight it was good. What she had brought out to the runway.
It was very like when they did the boss challenge. It was part of the candy challenge they did in season 5, and then Alaska.
Oh, the sugar ball.
Yeah, the sugar ball challenge. The
Yeah.
Sugar mom. That's what I was trying to think of. The sugar mom part of the challenge. I thought it was very much that. She was a strong woman. All right. So with the deliberation after they've decided who's in the tops and the bottoms, we have Shangela meeting with
Thorgy.
Thorgy, yeah. She met with Thorgy
Yes.
first. So she's describing this alliance type situation to Thorgy. Thorgy's like, yeah, I'm on board. How do we feel about this? What does this say about each of them?
Well, I mean, watching the episode, she did have this discussion with Thorgy first. She did say, why should your name be in my hands? If I win this lip sync, if I have your name, I would expect a favor back. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. But she had the same discussion with both queens. So
She did.
she's playing the game. She's putting the whole alliance thing out there, because even Thorgy like kind of whispered to her like side eye, I'm open to alliances. It's part of the game. I mean, it happened last season. So
Did it? Was there an alliance last
What?
season?
I mean,
I don't know. Alaska said there wasn't.
no, but if you rewatch All Stars season 2, AKA where Alaska talks and Katya. Sorry about it. Not sorry.
This is groundbreaking.
No,
Has
but
anyone else heard about
I've
this?
No.
never heard of that.
They pulled.
I mean,
over my
Alaska
eyes.
can pick up a fake leg and throw it across the room all she wants. You know
That
what?
was genius.
Right. Next time, if you really want to wow us, don't throw a fake leg across the room.
All right.
Throw a dildo. Throw a fake dick across the room.
This is All Stars 3, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, I mean, a competition of this nature where queens are eliminating other queens, it's Survivor. It's
It is.
it's an alliance.
And they learned fair play didn't work out last time for a lot of the queens.
Okay.
I will say though that it was like a win-win for Shangela the way she went about this, because if she appealed to both queens and then lost, they'd still be like, oh yeah, Shangela, she's my girl, she's on my side.
Yeah.
But then if she won, one of the witnesses is going home. So then the other one thinks, oh yeah, she's got my back. Like,
Right.
that's what kind of sucked about this scenario. And I think that as much as I love BenDeL and as much as I love that it seems like she's playing a fair game, I mean, she's still playing the game. She's not being 100% herself, but she's still trying to play a fair game, or at least being perceived that way. And I think she's going to have to, like, compromise her ethics a little bit if she wants to stay in this competition. Because if she ever ends up in the bottom once, I'm afraid she's going home.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I think that anybody who's sent anybody home has that chance of being, in the bottom and being sent home. So, I mean, it happened in season 2. Like, look at Alaska. She was stuck in the bottom.
But that's why you
going home.
That's why you always got to have your A game, because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And if you slay the competition all the way through and you're never on the bottom, then you have nothing to worry about.
Exactly. I agree with that.
But it also puts the target on your back.
And it does, yeah.
So then Thor then goes over to BenDeLa, and this was her big mistake. Like, she immediately goes, she gets the taste for the alliance, and she goes, hey, like, whatever, let's just do an alliance. Like, I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine. She did a poorly executed version of what Shangela was doing, and BenDeLa was just like, why do I keep getting these shady people admitting their shady thoughts to me?
Well, and the funny thing is, even Thorgy said to BenDeLa, "Oh, I mean, but do you think I deserve to be in the bottom too?" And BenDeLa's response was, "I don't know. I wasn't watching what you were doing. I was trying to worry about my performance." Like,
well, she couldn't see. She was
exactly
She was sitting in a place where she could see, and I think that was an honest answer. She didn't critique without having to know. It will be interesting to see who BenDeLa was going to send home next episode, though, because I think
I think they both chose. To be honest with you, I think they both chose Thorgy.
Thorgy was the right choice, but I hope that BenDeLa did not pick Kennedy, because that would be a sign of not.
But with Kennedy being as seasoned as she is, she didn't use any of Janet Jackson's characterizations. It was Kennedy.
That's true.
She didn't know. She didn't even know the words. Like, she wasn't even lip syncing on point.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, to me,
but Thorgy's wasn't entertaining.
It wasn't. But she knew the words. She didn't have necessarily the makeup right. But looking at her outfit and what she was wearing, and the tambourines, and just the way that she was doing her own characterization, I think that she had a better performance than Kennedy did. I think I would have given her more points than Kennedy.
I agree.
To be honest, if I was one of the top 2 in this situation, I probably would have chose Kennedy based off of her performance and what she gave to this particular challenge.
I agree. I think though I would have chosen based on like overall like how they've been doing throughout the whole competition, which she was very fierce last time.
Yeah.
So let's move on. Let's talk about crying over spilt milk. See what I did there?
Out of the
You're
carton.
not the only one that can make milk puns.
Thinking out of the carton.
That was bad. I like bad jokes, but that was bad. So I'm gonna be frank, because I know a lot of times I'm always trying to be very positive about the queens in this. Milk's starting to piss me off in this competition, because I was so excited to see Milk come back. I loved Milk.
Me too.
It was quirky and fun, but this season he really seems like he's being so shady and he's so self-absorbed. He rolled his eyes episode 1 when he found out he was safe. He was not the worst, but he was not the best. And he has such tunnel vision for the Milk show that he cannot see what his competition is bringing, and that's going to put him in danger later on, because he's not going to see how they're outshining him. He only sees, I did this, and I did it well. Yes, you did do a good job. It wasn't the best job, but you're not going to get a gold star every single time you do something. Mm-hmm. This Milk has been spoiled. Again. Another Milk pun, better than the carton one. That's my piece on Milk. What are your guys' thoughts? Be somewhat nice, but what were your thoughts?
I mean, in the beginning, I was rooting for Milk, but kind of seeing how he is behaving and the way he's acting, just the last two episodes, like I'm a bit turned off by it. Like, I understand that it's a competition. You are doing your best, and you want to be recognized for what you're doing and what you're bringing to each challenge. But yeah, there are queens that are doing a better job, and they are outshining you. Okay, don't sit there and get bitter over it. Don't sit there and make comments and get like start sitting there. I mean, on stage, he was like just cussing up a storm on stage because he felt like he should have been in the top 3. No,
and that's unprofessional.
it's very unprofessional and childish.
It is childish.
But like, instead of getting mad, up your game. Think about what you can do the next challenge to put yourself in the top 3.
Don't get better, get better.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I just feel like he's not the same Milk
No.
what he
From
was
season six.
from season 6,
Yeah.
and I really liked him. And I mean, I still like him, but I'm a little bit turned off by how he's been acting.
But when but in his defense, and all their defenses, when you're competing for $100,000 in a crown, you're going to be a different person.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
it's not like he's brand new on the season.
Right.
He's been through this before.
I agree. But I mean, competition changes people. It brings out their worst, and you just, I don't know, like.
Well, hopefully he realizes how he's been acting, and there's still time to change.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see how the season progresses.
I hope he turns around.
I do too. I really do.
So I do. I like Milk, and I want to see him do well. So let's talk about the lip sync for our lives. They chose who they were going to choose. We have Shangela up against BenDeLaCreme. I thought Shangela did it really well. It was very Shangela.
Yes.
She did a great job. I love BenDeLaCreme. I thought she did a good job. But I felt like it was a little all over the place. I think she was coasting a little bit. Where she started off strong, where it was like, I'm BenDeLaCreme doing a lip sync. And then it kind of like, she paused a little bit and stopped lip syncing as much. It was more of a character. But that character wasn't really lip syncing.
I think that if BenDeLaCreme didn't turn around and try to put this huge comedic stick to it, I think that she could have possibly won, because she was keeping up with Shangela, throughout that part to where she did, take off her long skirt and, almost falling on her ass, and then trying to like do her little like mocking her during her lip sync. I feel like if she could have kept her comedy, but if she had just kept lip syncing the words and trying to, find a way to like keep into the song, maybe she would have won. But no, she kind of like was like stopped singing, and she was like panting.
It was funny, and I loved it, but she should have kept lip syncing.
Yeah.
It wasn't consistent.
Yeah.
It wasn't consistent. Yeah.
If she should have started with comedy and finished with comedy, but she started more serious. And
Yeah.
It felt like she changed her mind in the middle.
Yeah.
But I thought it was great. It was just two separate great things that didn't work well together.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and I really do think Shangela did a very good job in that lip sync from the beginning to the end. So yeah, I would agree with Rue's decision that she won that lip sync. She did great.
So Shangela wins. She sends home Thorgy Thor. I was a little disappointed with Thorgy Thor. I did feel bad for her because I know it's kind of like a personal obstacle she needs to overcome with her stress and her anxiety and her like conspiracy theories. Very Nina Bonina Brown of the season. But I was disappointed how she reacted at the end, because even in the deliberation, she told BenDeLa, like, you know what, whatever, if you choose me, I still love you, but I can't predict how I'm going to react if you send me home. And that felt like a threat. And then she did not behave professionally at the end.
But here's the funny thing. Morgan McMichaels, Thorgy Thor, and any other queen who knows, or whoever gets eliminated, they know that this is All Stars 3. It's the same rules from All Stars 2. They're going to have that second chance to come back into the competition.
Maybe.
But instead of getting mad and just letting your ass hang out there, learn from it, grow from it, and just apply it to whatever comes your way. If there's a slight chance that you can come back into the competition, don't leave on a nasty note.
Right. Represent yourself well.
Yeah.
Be professional.
Don't blame the editing.
Or your mom. I don't know why I said that.
But was she really mad, or was she trying to do that to seem like she was mad, but do a comedy twist to it?
No, she was mad.
She was pissed.
She was pissed.
I know, but we don't know.
We know.
You weren't there. I'm joking.
Well, we're saying
As Thorsy Thor.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
This is how it was represented. Well, that's all tonight for this Nick's Nerd Network. This is Nick, and this is Jane Elias.
I'm drunk.
Yes, you're drunk.
And I'm not.
And I'm not either. So have a great night. This is us signing off. Bye.
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 If you like this episode of Nick's Nerd Network, please like and subscribe. If you have different opinions or would like to share some of your ideas, please share these in the comment section below. Please keep it constructive and friendly. Thanks so much for watching and have a wonderful day.